the Champaign County History Museum is celebrating local stories and innovations. The museum itself is filled with exhibits and educational programming, and they also have a 1920s popcorn truck that travels around central Illinois. Joining me now is the museum manager, Will Best. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us in.
So tell me a little bit about this popcorn wagon.
Well, I'll try to keep it short. Our 1920s popcorn wagon rolled off the assembly line at the Creeders Company of Chicago and was originally sold to a gentleman in Galesburg, Illinois on the west side of the state on a modified Model T chassis. Sometime in 1935, Henry Sansone, after taking over his family's local popcorn and peanut business, alongside his wife Lucille, bought the wagon and brought it to Champaign and began selling popcorn in downtown Champaign, primarily at the intersection of Church and Neal Street in downtown Champaign for nearly 40 years before they decided to retire and sold it to Joan McComber, who continued the tradition for a few more years. And then eventually it was abandoned in a barn in 1977 and bought by the Champaign County History Museum, where we now use it and still utilize it today as a fundraising tool for the museum.
That's amazing. And it's such a cool looking popcorn wagon. What do you classify it as? Is it a wagon? Is it part of the car? How exactly does it work?
It's really funny, actually. The wagon, the top half of the wagon is still original.
Okay.
It's from that original 1920s Model T, but sometime in the 1940s, the Model T chassis was actually in a bit of dire straits.
Okay.
And so Henry Sansone actually, as the story goes, struck a deal with ciLiving Chevrolet of Champaign to put it on a damaged 1940s Chevy Deluxe convertible chassis that they had gotten, and they put it on that new chassis, and it's been on it ever since.
There you go. It still looks really cool. And I know that you have it coming up at a lot of different events. I know that there's a Touch a Truck coming up. Where can we find this popcorn wagon? Yeah,
so we go to a lot of community festivals and events, primarily major programs. So far this year, we've been at the July 4th festivities at Memorial Stadium. You can usually find us there every single year. And then we even tried a new event this summer, which was the Half Century of Progress in Rantoul.
Oh, cool.
And then coming up later this year, we're going to be at Touch a Truck on September 27th. We're not going to be popping any popcorn, but we're at least going to let families and kids get the chance to explore the wagon and go in and see what it looks like today.
Oh, that's neat.
And then we'll be popping popcorn at Pride Fest on October 25th and at Parade of Lights on November 29th.
And that popcorn that you're popping is actually local popcorn, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah, we've partnered with More Family Farms, which many local community members, it's on this one actually.
On that one, okay, there you go. I'm like, I knew there were signposts here. So there you go, so it's over there.
More Family Farms, yeah, you'll know More Family Farms more from their large booth of fresh vegetables over at the Havana Farmers Market. But we've partnered with them to provide us kernels, which we can then sell to our local community.
That's amazing. And then if people are interested in coming to the museum itself, what kind of exhibits do you have on display currently?
Well, we have a lot of new exhibits currently on display. We have a display on the Gifford State Bank, photography in Champaign County from 1850 to 1920, the early history of radio in our local community and at the University of Illinois. And my personal favorite is an exhibition on Dorothy Schroeder and the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League.
And that was the exhibit that I think you mentioned as it was first opening up on ciLiving. How is that one going?
Oh, it's fantastic. People have loved it. We've had a lot of community members come in to see some of the artifacts and to remember Dorothy, because a lot of local community members remembered her working at Collegiate Cap and Gown or attending church services at St. Paul's Lutheran Church in Sedoris, or just being out and about in the community, and everyone loved her.
And then you have a car show event coming up, right? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So to raise money for the museum and to do continued maintenance on our historic popcorn wagon, we hold major fundraisers over the course of the year, and our last major fundraiser is coming up this Sunday on September 21st from 3 to 5 p.m. We've partnered with Alan Strong, a local entrepreneur and car enthusiast, and he is going to be opening up his private vintage car collection of Packards, Duesenbergs, Cadillacs, and a couple of others to the local community to help raise money for the museum.
And there's a QR code right there on your screen, so if you're interested in getting tickets to the car show that's coming up on September 21st from 3 to 5 p.m., you can scan the QR code that you see on your screen right now.
And my favorite part about the event is that all participants will have the chance to win a ride in one of Alan's vintage vehicles in costume, because Alan's wife Nancy has a collection of vintage furs and hats that she will also be making available.
Oh, nice. And where is that ride taking place, or what are the details about that? Is it like a parade, or is it just kind of like a drive around the community?
You'll have the chance to drive around the community and see what it looks like.
That's amazing. You can wave from a vintage car.
Absolutely.
Will, this is amazing. So thank you so much for all of the information about the historic Popcorn Wagon. There's also, of course, the Champaign County History Museum, which I personally have been to and is a lot of fun. It's located in the historic cattle bank. And I really appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.